Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss a new lesson from civics, the central government. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about the powers of the president and the vice president, and to know about the prime minister and council of ministers. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about this two great designation. Central government is the supreme government in our country. So we know very well. So central government is the supreme government in our country. The headquarters of the central government is at New Delhi. The headquarters of the central government is at New Delhi. Article 52 to 78 in Part 5 of Indian Constitution deals with the executive, the makers of Indian Constitution, by giving due recognition to the vastness and plural characteristic of our nation. The makers of the Indian Constitution, by giving due recognition to the vastness and plural characteristics of our nation, have provided a federal arrangement for her governance. So here the central government, that means we have the Constitution, the Constitution of India. It gives the recognition to the central government. The Article 52 to 78 in the Part 5 of the Indian Constitution deals about the Union Executive. The Union Executive, the central government has the three wings, namely it is consists of the three organs, namely Union Executive, Legislature and Judiciary. The Union Executive consists of three: the President, Vice President and the Council of Ministers, headed by the Prime Minister and the Attorney General of India. The legislature is known as the Parliament. So there are the three wings we discussed, that means the three organs of the central government: the executive, legislature and judiciary. So in the legislature, Parliament, it is known as the Parliament. The legislature is known as the Parliament. The Parliament has the two houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha 238 elected by the state assemblies. The 12 were nominated by the President of India. In the Lok Sabha, the 543 elected by the people and 2 are nominated by the President. These are the legislature, that means the Parliament and its members. A third one is the judiciary. The judiciary is the Supreme Court is considered as the head of our judicial system. So another one, the Supreme Court of India, it has the Chief Justice of India and other judges, 27 judges. It is the highest authority of our judicial wing. So these are the three organs of our central government: executive, legislature and judiciary. These are the three organs. These three organs has the number of, that means the components. The President of India. The President is the nominal executive authority. The real authority is the Prime Minister. Here the President is the nominal executive authority. The Chief Executive of the Indian Union is the President. He is designated as the first citizen of India. The President of India is considered as the first citizen of India. He is the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces means there are three: Navy, Air Force and military. There are the three armed forces. He acts as the Supreme Commander of these three armed forces. The President is also the constitutional head of the Union Executive. The Union Executive, in the Union Executive, he is considered as the head of the Union. According to Article 53 of the Constitution, so we have the Constitution 449 articles. In this Article 53 of the Constitution, the executive power of the Union shall be vested in the President, which shall be exercised by him directly or through officers subordinate to him in accordance with the Constitution. Article 53 of the Constitution provides the powers to the President to exercise his power directly or through their subordinate. The first one we are going to discuss the qualification of the election as president. So these are the some of the qualifications are given for the president. He should be a citizen of India. First, he should be a citizen of India. He must have completed the age of 35 years. He should complete at the age of 35 years. He must not hold any office or profit under the union, state or local government. So that means if a person want to become a president, first he should be a citizen of India and he should have completed the age 35 years. And another one, he should not hold any office. That means எந்த ஒரு கவர்மெண்ட் ஜாப்லேயும் சென்ட்ரல் ஸ்டேட் ஆர் லோக்கல் கவர்மெண்ட்டுடைய ஜாபில் அவர் இருக்கக்கூடாது. He should have the other qualifications required to become the member of the Lok Sabha. மெம்பர் ஆகிறதுக்கான குவாலிஃபிகேஷன்ஸ் இருக்கணும். His or her name should be proposed by at least 10 electorates and seconded by another 10 electorates in the electoral college which elect the president. That means the electoral college means the legislature, that means legislative assemblies of the country. These people should propose his name by at least 10 electors. The president cannot be a member of the parliament or a state legislature. Underline it. The president cannot be a member of parliament or of a state legislature. If he is a member of any legislature, his seat will be deemed to have been vacated on the date she assumes the office of president. That means if a president hold any member of any legislature, அதாவது இப்போது வந்து பிரசிடெண்ட்டாக இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் பிரசிடெண்ட்டுக்கான குவாலிஃபிகேஷன்ஸ் இருக்குது. அந்த குவாலிஃபிகேஷன்ஸில் பார்த்தோம். இப்போ என்ன அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் இந்த குவாலிஃபிகேஷன், ஒன் ஆஃப் த குவாலிஃபிகேஷன் வாஸ் தட் அவர் எந்த ஒரு லெஜிஸ்லேச்சர்லேயும் மெம்பராக இருக்கக்கூடாது. அப்படி அவர் இருந்தார்னா அவர் அதை வக்கேட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு வந்துடணும். அவர் பிரசிடெண்ட்டாக அவருடைய பதவியை ஏற்கிற அந்த டைமுக்குள்ளே அவர் அதை வக்கேட் பண்ணிவிட்டு வந்துடணும். So another one, the election of the president. The president is elected by an electoral college in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. That means the electoral college consists of the elected members of both houses of the parliament. So we have the parliament. In the parliament there are two houses. In the two houses the people were elected by the people directly and indirectly. This is called electoral college. These electoral people elect the president. That means here that the elected members of both houses of parliament and elected members of the state and elected members of national capital territory of Delhi and Puducherry. The national capital territory of Delhi and Puducherry, they also should elect the president. Once elected as the president has to take an oath of office before the Chief Justice of India. So Chief Justice of India தான் அவருக்கு என்ன பண்ணுவாருன்னா பதவி பிரமாணம் செஞ்சு வைப்பார். யார் முன்னாடி அவர் சபதம் ஓத் எடுத்துக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் Chief Justice of India. The president is elected for a term of 5 years and can be re-elected. The president of India, the term of the president of India is the 5 years and he can be re-elected. அவரை திரும்பவும் அவரே பிரசிடெண்ட்டாகவும் எலெக்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கான ரூல்ஸு இருக்குது. The power of the president. There are 7 powers of the president. President is considered as the head of the country. That means he designated as the first citizen of India. He has the number of powers. He can exercise his power on the country through directly or his subordinate. Article 77 requires that every executive action of the union shall be taken in the name of the president. So every action of the union shall be taken in the name of the president. The central governmentல எந்த ஒரு ஆக்ஷன் இருந்தாலும் அது யாருடைய லீடர்ஷிப்பில் இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் president of India. He appoints the prime ministers. For the executive power, he appoints the prime minister and the other members of the council of ministers distributing portfolios to them on the advice of the Prime Minister. Here, here the President appoints the Prime Minister of India and also appoints the other members or council of members, and also he distributing the portfolios mean department to the on the advice of the Prime Minister. He is responsible for making a wide variety of appointments. This includes the appointment of governors of state. The President of India has the power and he can appoint the governors of the state, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and other judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts, the Attorney General, the Comptroller and Auditor General, the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioner, the chairman and the members of Union Public Service Commission, ambassadors and high commissioners to other countries. So these are the powers of the president, executive powers of the president. So பிரசிடெண்ட்டுக்கு என்ன மாதிரியான பவர்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்குது அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா, அவர் சீஃப் ஜஸ்டிஸ் அப்பாயிண்ட் பண்ணுறது அண்டு கவர்னர், ஸ்டேட்டில் கவர்னர் அப்பாயிண்ட் பண்ணலாம், ஹைகோர்ட்டு ஜட்ஜி, அதுக்கப்புறமா சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டு ஜட்ஜஸ்ஸு, அட்டார்னி ஜென்ரலு, அப்புறம் கம்ப்ட்ரோலர் அண்ட் ஆடிட்டர் ஜென்ரல், சீஃப் எலெக்ஷன் கமிஷனரு அண்ட் அதர் எலெக்ஷன் கமிஷனரு, சேர்மன் அண்ட் ஆஃப் த மெம்பர்ஸ் ஆஃப் த யூனியன் பப்ளிக் சர்வீஸ் கமிஷன், இவங்க எல்லாரையும் அப்பாயிண்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கான பவர் இருக்குது. இந்த பவரை தான் என்ன சொல்லுவோம், எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் பவர் ஆஃப் த பிரசிடெண்ட். So another one, the legislative power. He inaugurates the session of the parliament by addressing it after the general election and also the beginning of the first session each year. So every year he should address the general election. This address is essentially identical in nature of speech from the throne. The president summons parliament at least twice in a year. அவருக்கு என்ன இருக்குது, 2 years ஒன்ஸ் பார்லிமெண்ட்டு மாற்றுறதுக்கு பவர் இருக்குது. தட் மீன்ஸ் president summons parliament at least twice in a day. என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கணும், வருஷத்தில் 2 டைம்ஸ்னால் அவர் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் பார்லிமெண்ட்லையுமே அதை மீட் பண்ணணும். He may send a message through either house of the parliament with respect of bill pending in the house. All bills passed by the parliament becomes law of acts. அதாவது எங்கள் பில் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால், ஆல் பில் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் எந்த பில்லும் கிடையாது, ஒரு ஆக்டாக மாறும். ஒரு சட்டமாக மாறுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி அது என்ன சொல்லுவோம்னா பில் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். அந்த பில் பாஸ் ஆனால் ஆக்டுன்னு சொல்லுவோம். அதாவது அதை நிறைவேற்றிட்டாங்கன்னா அது ஆக்ட், சட்டமாக மாறும். அப்படி அது சட்டமாக மாறலை அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் அது என்னவாக இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா பில்லாகவே இருக்கும். ஸோ மணி பில் cannot be introduced in the parliament without his approval. ஸோ மணி பில், ஸோ இந்த பட்ஜெட்டுக்கான மணி பில், அதாவது மணி பில் cannot be introduced in the parliament. பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் மணி பில்லை அவங்க இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது வித்தவுட் த அப்ரூவல் ஆஃப் த பிரசிடெண்ட் டெர்மினேட்ஸ் த செஷன் ஆஃப் த போத் ஆர் எனி ஆஃப் த ஹவுஸ் ஆஃப் பார்லிமெண்ட். He can even dissolve the Lok Sabha before the expiry of the term of the house. So parliament has the power, he has the rights to nominate 12 persons who are eminent in the literature. So already we discussed about the members of the Rajya Sabha. In the Rajya Sabha, the president can appoint the 12 persons who are the eminent in the literature, science, sports, art and social service to the Rajya Sabha. He can also nominate 2 persons belong to the Anglo-Indian community to the Lok Sabha, and also he can nominate both Rajya Sabha members in the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. In the Rajya Sabha he can nominate 12 members. In the Lok Sabha he can nominate 2 members who should belong to the Anglo-Indian community in adequately represented in the house. And also he has the judicial power. The Article 72 confirms the for President's power to grant pardons, respites, or remissions or punishments, or to commute the sentence of any person convicted of an offense. ஸோ ஜுடிஷியல் பவர் கருணை மனு அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். ஸோ அந்த கருணை மனுவில் அதாவது கிராண்ட் பர்டன்ஸ் பொது மன்னிப்பு வழங்குறதுக்கான பவர் பிரசிடெண்ட்டுக்கு இருக்குது. அதை கொடுக்கறது ஆர்டிக்கல் 72 ஆஃப் த கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன். த மிலிட்ரி பவர் ஆர்டிக்கல் 53 lays down that the supreme command of the defense forces of the union shall be vested in the president, and the exercise thereof shall be regulated by law. So here already we know about it. President has the supreme commander of the armed forces. Likewise here he has the power. The article 53 of the constitution provide the powers to the president, the supreme command of defense force. Another one, that the diplomatic power. The president appoints Indian diplomats to other countries and receives foreign diplomats posted to India. The ambassadors designates becomes the ambassadors after calling on the president and presenting his credential. All treaties and agreements with foreign states are entered into in the name of the president. So diplomatic power. In the diplomatic power, the president appoints the Indian diplomats to the other countries and receives the other diplomats in our country, and also they should presenting their credentials. The treaties between and or among the countries and agreements should be in the name of or the entered into in the name of the president. அதாவது பிரசிடென்ட் அப்ரூவல் இருந்தால் மட்டும்தான் எந்த ஒரு அக்ரிமெண்ட்டாக இருந்தாலும் ட்ரீட்டிஸாக இருந்தாலும் அது நடக்கும். Emergency power. The president has been empowered by the constitution to proclaim the national emergency under article 352, the state emergency under article 356, financial emergency under article 360. There are three emergency is given. First one, national emergency. Article 352 gives the power to president to implement or to post the national emergency. And second one, article 356, it provide the power to the president to declare the state emergency. Article 360 given assurance to the president to declare financial emergency. Another one, the removal of the president. The president may be writing under his hand address to the vice president resign in his office. The president may, for violation of the constitution, be removed from office by impeachment in the manner provided in article 61. Article 61, if a president want to resign the presidentship, he should write the resignation letter by his hand to the vice president, and also if he violate the constitution, he should be removed from the office by the impeachment. The article 61 given the power. It has the power to remove the president from the presidentship. The impeachment action can be brought about in the form of resolution, either house of the parliament. The பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் இருக்க அந்த ஹவுசஸ் இருக்கக்கூடிய மெம்பர்ஸ் அவங்களோட மெஜாரிட்டியில் பிரசிடெண்ட்டை என்ன செய்யலாம், இம்பீச்மெண்ட், அதாவது தேச துரோக குற்றச்சாட்டு அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, அதன் மூலமாக அவங்க பிரசிடெண்ட்டில் இருந்து ரிமூவ் பண்ணலாம். It must be supported by not less than 1/4 of the total strength of the houses for its introduction. அதாவது less than 1/4 of 4/1 அங்கே இருக்கக்கூடிய பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஹவுசஸில் இருக்க ஸ்ட்ரென்த்து மெஜாரிட்டி வேணும். த பிரசிடென்ட் ஷெல் இன் ஸ்பைட் ஆஃப் த கன்க்ளூஷன் ஆஃப் ஹிஸ் டேர்ம் continue to hold office until his successor enters upon his office. For example, if a president, the new president is elected. So on the new president வர வரைக்கும் the old president can be in the same position until his successor enters up to his office. Okay children, today's class is over. I will send the question answer with this link. Write this question answer and study the question answer. Thank you.